Welcome, everyone. I'm going to grab my guitar, and as we are encouraging our members to have a seat, thank you for being here. Our second week in a row having actual people, a minion at services. This service was invitation. Just a second. My apologies for that. We're working through a few things. We may alter the speaker or something. Anyway, this was invitation only tonight. Our sort of Friday night regulars who often come. And starting next week, if you are a member of the synagogue and you have to be watching right now, you can actually come. First priority goes to those who have yard sites, and they have until Tuesday to let us know. And when that's done, then there will be open spots, first come, first served basis. You can start emailing on Tuesday at noon, and we'll keep a list. And like I said, it's first come, first serve, but you only get to go once for a while until everyone who wants to go to a regular service is able to go. But most of you are out there content to watch at home. You can sing along. For you who are here tonight, you cannot. You don't get to sing along. You have to mutter very quietly, even though you're masked, even though you are about 10 to 15 feet apart, even 20 feet in many cases. It's still, we don't want you to sing out loud. So how do you participate? You clap. When we do a rhythm of the song, you're going to clap. Anyway, it's great to have you here in this Murray Davis courtyard. We are going to go ahead and begin on page 3. Page 3. Lechu neranena neranena ladonai naria naria letzor yishenu. Lechu neranena neranena ladonai naria naria letzor yishenu. Nekad mafanav betoda bizmirot naria lo ki el gadol Adonai umelech gadol al kol Elohim. Lechu neranena neranena ladonai naria naria letzor yishenu. Lechu neranena neranena ladonai naria naria letzor yishenu. All right, page 5. Just going to make one more volume adjustment. All right, this one you can clap on. You will, hopefully you'll figure out when. Shiru ladonai shir chadash, shiru ladonai kol haaretz, shiru ladonai barechu shemo, basru miyom leyom yeshuato, safru vagoyim kevodo. Bechol amim niflotav ki gadol Adonai umulal meod norahu al kol Elohim ayinai ki kol Elohim ha'amim elilim va'adonai shamayim asa hod v'hadar לפניו עוז ותפארת במקדשו. הבו לאדוני משפחות עמים, הבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז. הבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, שאו מנחה ובואו לחצרותיו. עיני השתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש, חילו מפניו כל הארץ. אמרו בגויים אדוני מלך, אף תיקון תבל בל תימות. ידין עמים במישרים, יספרו השמיים ותגל הארץ. ירא הים ומלואו יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו היי אז ירננו כל עצי יער לפני אדוני כי בא לשפוט הארץ ישפוט תבל בצדק ואמין באמונתו ay nine 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 yai nine 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 here we go yai nine 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 yai nine 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 yai nine 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 yai nine 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 yai nine nine yai nine 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 yai nine 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 yai nine 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 yai nine 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 yai nine 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 yai nine 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 yai nine 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 yai nine nine yai nine nine yai nine 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 yai nine nine yai nine nine yai nine 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 yai nine 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 yai nine 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 yai nine nine nine. All right, good clapping there. Hope you're singing along at home. So we have greeters, ushers here. I want to thank Garrett Schwartz and his family, Karen Sensor, Ezra and Tate Schwartz, as well as Stacy Month for our ushering. We have, in case you don't know, Justin is at the gate, greeting there as well and telling people to process down to the courtyard area. And my wife Karen is at home greeting people on the internet. So if you want to say hi and you're there, please feel free to do so. All right, we're going to go to page 12, Romamu. And instead of, when I say key, instead of saying key, you're going to clap. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romamu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romamu. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. All right, page 13, Mizmor David. I wish I could invite Jonah or Tamar up to lead it, but I can't because we can't share the space. Well, one of them I could share the space with, but he's busy also doing technical detail tonight. Mizmor leDavid, havu l'Adonai brenim, havu l'Adonai kavod va'oz, ay havu l'Adonai kevod shemo ishtachavu l'Adonai behadrat kodesh, kol Adonai al hamayim el hakavod yirim, Adonai al mayim rabim, kol Adonai ba'koach, ay kol Adonai ve'adar kol Adonai shover arazim v'shaver Adonai et arzei Alvanon v'yarkinem kemo egel Lebanon beSirion kemo ven re'emim ay kol Adonai חוצב לעבוד אש כל אדוני יחיל מדבר יחיל אדוני מדבר קרש כל אדוני יחולל איילות ויחסוך יערות ובהיכלו kulo omer kavod. Ay 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 Adonai lama habuya shava yeshev Adonai melech leolam Adonai os le'amo yiten Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. Hey ay ay nay 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 ay ay nay 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 ay nay 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 ay nay 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 ay nay nay ay nay 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 ay nay 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 ay 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 nay 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 ay nay 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 ay nay 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 nay. All right, page 15, Lecha Dodi, using two different melodies tonight. First two stanzas to one, then the last two stanzas to another. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Ishmi'anu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shemo tiferet v'lihila. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, Ki imekor habracha, Merosh mikedem nesucha. So ma'aseh b'machshava tchila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Bottom of 17, Yaminu Smol Tifrotzi, Et Adonai Taritzi, Al Yarish Ben Partzi, V'nismecha v'nagila la 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 la. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. We rise and face the entrance. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, Gam b'simcha u'b'tzola, Toch emunei am segula, Boi kala. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. We say to any mourners or hermits, Hamakonechem etchem b'toch sharvlei Tzion Yerushalayim. May God comfort you, all the mourners of Zion and Jerusalem, as we may be seated. We're on page 19, the Psalm for Shabbat. Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat, Tov lehodot le'Adonai, Ulezamer le'shimcha elyon, Ulezamer le'shimcha elyon, Lehagi baboker chasdecha, Ve'emunatcha ba'leilot, Alei asor ve'alei navel, Alei higayon ve'chinot. Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat, Tov lehodot le'Adonai, Ulezamer le'shimcha elyon, Ulezamer le'shimcha elyon. We continue silently, pages 19 and 20. Tzadikat amar yifrach ka'erez balvanon yizkeh shetulim bevet Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenuvun beseva deshenim verananim yehu lehagid Kashar Adonai Tzuri velo avlatavo Adonai Malach Gyot Lavesh Lavesh Adonai Azita Zarav Tikon Tevel Baltimot Nachon Kitzacha Meaz Malamata Nasu Nerot Adonai Nasu Nerot Kolam Yisu Nerot Och Yam Mi Kolot Mayim Mayim Rabim Adirim Mishpareyam Adir Bamarom Adonai Edotecha Ne'ebnu Meod Levetecha Nava Kodesh Adonai Leorech Yamin We rise for the Baruch Hu, page 22. Yada lai lai la, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai la, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai la, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai lai. This way is eastish. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed Le'olam va'ed Yala lai 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 Yala lai 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 Yala lai 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 Yala lai 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 Yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai lai. You may be seated. Baruch Adonai Barach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bivaro Ma'ariv Aravim. We're on page 23. And Shabbat Shalom to Elisheva Merit. Great to have her here too. El Chai V'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Atah Adonai HaMa'ariv Aravim Ahavad Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavita Amcha Ahavita Torah umitzvot, chukim umishpatim, otanu limaditam, otanu limaditam. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shachbenu, kumenu nasiach b'chukecha. ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגע יומם ולילה נגע יומם ולילה אהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל. Page 25. We'll cover our eyes for the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, v'chol levavecha, v'chol nafshecha, u'v'chol meodecha, ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi metzavecha, hayom alevavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta ba'am, v'shiftecha b'veitecha, uvlechtecha v'derech, uv'shokbecha, uv'kumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, v'a'ilu totafot b'neinecha, uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha v'ya. Continue silently, pages 27 through 29. עשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת. אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת. All right, I like that clap for that. That was good. When the people Israel stood at the Red Sea, no tribe wanted to be the first to go in. And they were standing around arguing. Nachshon, the son of Aminadab, of the tribe of Judah, leapt forward, dove in first. Because of his action, the tribe of Judah was to obtain a special place in God's sanctuary. So let us follow the example of Nachshon, taking a leap of action and observing commandments, appreciating freedom, and being open to the miraculous.
באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, שמש מנורה תהילות, עושה פלא נורה תהילות, עושה פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה, זה אלי אנו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. 1, 2, 3, 4. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות, עושה פלא נורא תהילות, עושה פלא נורא תהילות, עושה פלא.
Page 33.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. ושמור Tzitenu Uvoenu Lechaim Ushalom Me'ata ve'ad olam Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom Ve'hamidenu Malkeinu Lechaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom Ve'hamidenu Malkeinu Lechaim Frosalenu Sukkot Shlomecha Baruch Atah Adonai Haparei Sukkot Shalom Aleinu V'Kol Yisrael V'Al Yerushalayim. And we rise once again. You can leave your books on your chair because this is a clapping one. I mean, it's possible to clap with one hand holding the book. It's kind of hard though. And the words are pretty easy. Most of you know them. Shamru Bnei Yisrael et HaShabbat La'asot et HaShabbat Ledorotam Berit Olam B'nei Yehuda B'nei Yisrael Oti Leolam Oti Leolam Oti Leolam Shamru Bnei Yisrael et HaShabbat La'asot et HaShabbat Ledorotam Berit Olam Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz Shamru Bnei Yisrael et HaShabbat La'asot et HaShabbat Ledorotam Berit Olam Ubayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Shamru Bnei Yisrael et HaShabbat La'asot et HaShabbat Ledorotam Berit Olam. All right, Chatzi Kaddish, page 35, second week in a row, chanting the Chatzi Kaddish. It feels good. Yitkarav Yitkarash Shemei Rabbah Ve'alma Divrach Yerutei Ve'amlich Malchutei B'chayechon Uv'yomechon Uv'chayrecho Beit Yisrael Ba'agala Uv'izman Kariv Imeru Amen Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Ve'olam u'le'al me'al maya Yitbarach V'ishtabach V'itbar v'irmam v'naseh V'itadar v'italev v'itolal Shmei Kudsha Barichu Le'elamin kol verchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Ta'amiran be'alma V'meru Amen. Private Amidah will recite between pages 37 and 48. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יש ותבל ואמרו אמן. Hey, עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יש ותבל ואמרו אמן. I'm going to go right to Kaddish Shalem tonight, page 53. Gadavi Kadash Merabah. V'amari v'achir tev nichmachotei b'chayachon v'yamachon v'cherechol Beit Yisrael b'agalav izman krivim meru amen Yahei shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam le'almei almaya yitbarach yitbarach v'ishtabach v'barvim v'naseh v'tadar v'taleh v'talash shmei kudsha b'rechu le'lam min kol b'chata v'shiratat b'chata v'nechamata damiram v'yamav meru amen tikabat slotan v'oton l'chol Yisrael konam avon di v'shmaya v'meru amen Yishlam rab min shemaya v'chemel v'kol Yisrael v'meru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, va'imeru. Amen. All right, we can be seated for a moment while I teach an anecdote about an historically important Jewish figure. When I'm not doing something thematically, I'm talking about Jewish immigrants primarily from Germany, so we're in the 1800s, and I'm trying to get Bay Area specific most weeks. Last week I did the first Jew in Oakland. This week a prominent Jew from San Francisco. Unfortunately, because of what he did for a living, it kind of is thematic for this week in the news, but I'll just leave it at that. So I want to tell you a little about Isaias Wolf Hellman. Isaias Wolf Hellman. Raise your hand if you're here if you've heard of him. You may not know his name, but you'll know him when I start what he did. So he was born in Bavaria, in Reckendorf, Bavaria, to Wolf Hellman and Sarah Fleischman. His father was a master weaver, and he immigrated to Los Angeles. He was born in 1842. He immigrated to Los Angeles when he was about 20 years old. He became Los Angeles' first banker. And that was by accident, because what he started in was the same business that almost every other Jew started in, which was first with a push cart, peddling goods, and then opening up a dry goods store. Now, his store was called the Baker Block, and as a courtesy to his customers, he would store their gold and their valuables in a safe. So one day, he got in an altercation with a customer who had been coming in and out of the store drunk. And every time he'd come in drunk, he would insist on Hellman opening up the safe. He would take out his gold in the pouch of it, and he would spend all his money. Well, what happened was, when he sobered up, he was angry, discovered that all his funds were gone, and he tried to lunge and fight Hellman. And so then Hellman decided to stop his informal banking and start formally banking, and he got slips printed up that said, I.W. Hellman, banker. And he started, issuing deposit slips and saving money. He then founded the Farmers and Merchants Bank of Los Angeles with former Governor John Downey, which was Southern California's first successful bank. And because of that, he loaned the money that allowed the Los Angeles Times to begin, and oil drilling. All these businesses were done through the Farmers and Merchants Bank. And he became quite wealthy. He invested in trolley lines in the Southern Pacific Railroad, became one of the founding fathers of USC, the University of Southern California, and he became president of B'nai B'rith in 1872, and helped to build the first temple in Los Angeles on 4th Street, which I believe eventually became the Wilshire Temple, but I'm not positive about that. He moved to San Francisco in 1890 in order to take over another bank, the Nevada Bank. And however, it had at one time been very successful. It was almost broke by the time he got there, and because of his reputation, he got a lot of investors. Now, there was another bank which was starting to have problems, founded by Henry Wells. It's called Wells Fargo. And so they merged with the Nevada National Bank, and they became the most successful bank on the West Coast. But he was not the founder of Wells Fargo, but he became its president, and it became very famous up until still is today. He married Esther Newgas of New York. They had 3 children, Isaiah Wolf Hellman Jr., Clara Hellman, and Florence Hellman. They're all buried in the cemeteries in Colma. And one of the best biographies of him and other famous Jews is called Towers of Gold, How One Jewish Immigrant Named Isaiah Hellman Created California. It's by Francis Dinkenspiel, a scholar, a professor of history, who happens to be the great-great-granddaughter of Isaiah Hellman. So that's a little bit about one of Northern California's most famous Jews. All right. Two of you, actually a few more of you can do this. If you have your children here or somebody else, like your spouse, you can put your hands on their heads and bless one another. As we say, for males, Yisimcha Elohim k'Ephraim v'Menashe, females, Yisimecha Elohim k'Sara v'Kara Chavaleah. For everybody, Yivarecha Adonai v'Yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Yer Adonai panav elecha v'Yichuneka. May God's face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'Yisem lecha shalom. May God lift the divine face toward you and grant you peace. We rise now, face east once again for the Aleinu, page 57. Page 57. I'm just going to do one quick thing before we start it for fun. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol l'tekidu l'leotzer b'reishit shelo asanu k'guyei haratzot velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama shelo sam chelkeinu kahem v'goraleinu k'chol hamonam v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'bodim lifnei melech malchei amlakim hakadosh baruch hu shehu notei shamayim ve'yoser haaretz Moshe v'yikaro b'shamayim mima'al V'shchinatu zo v'gavei miromim Hu Eloheinu einod Emet malkeinu efes ulato Kakatu b'torato Yadatayo v'hashevota El levavecha Ki Adonai hu Elohim B'shamayim mima'al V'ha'aretz mitachat Einod V'apratu b'torah techonayim loch ve'olam ba'eh V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz v'yom hahu yiyeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. We may be seated as we lovingly recall the memory of those whose yortzeit, the anniversary of their deaths, occur during the coming week, being especially the day of Louis Aldef, Minnie Dane Askey, John Berman, Jane Deere, Ira Glasser, Elmer Glick, Samuel Gold, Morris Cantor, Edward Klinger, Lena Clore, Brianna Leitner, Bernard Levine, Sylvia Levinson, Edith Moss, Anna Pulse, Louis Rosenberg, Morris Rothblatt, Elaine Rubin, Howard Rubin, Thomas Saunders, Henry Alton Schmulewitz, Barnett Schwartz, Sheila Rose Seal, Michael Shaw,
Israel Shepard, Lawrence Stone, Kenneth Tesler, Morris Weiner. We're in the Shloshim for Murray Gordon. In the Shiva for Sarah Dickman, who is the mother of Josh Sadekman, and I had really the privilege of attending the Zoom memorial service for her. Great woman, and also I got to meet her at Ruby and Ella's Banot Mitzvah. Also want to mention someone from the community. A tragic death happened in the broader Oakwood Jewish community this week. A 21-year-old young man named Yonim Schweig, who is the daughter of Tanya Schweig, or the son of Tanya Schweig, who is the head of school at Oakwood Hebrew Day School. He was on 2 of the soccer teams I coached when I was younger. He was a great kid, just a great young man. I mean, menschlichkeit and holiness kind of just poured out of him, even as a middle schooler, right, 5th grader, 6th grader, when I had him on the team. Just a really wonderful young man, died tragically in a boating or some kind of water accident, and our thoughts are with the Schweig family. May his memory be a blessing. We also want to mention Stephen Scher. I'll tell you a little more about him when we do our closing song, who is a Jewish singer-songwriter and wrote a song that some of you know that we sing at synagogue occasionally as well. And I'll talk about that song in just a minute. So may the memory of all of them be with us. We ask all those who are mourning, observing your side, anyone else who would choose to do so, to recite the Mourner's Kaddish with me on page 61. Yitgadal, v'yitkadash, shemei rabah, v'almad yivrach yerutei, v'amlich machutei, v'chayekon v'yomechon, v'chayekon beit Yisrael, v'agalav izman kariv, v'imru, amen. Yehi shmei rabah mevorach, v'olam l'almei almaya, yitbarach, v'ishtabach, v'itbar, v'tromam, v'itnaseh, v'itadar, v'itale, v'itala, shemei dekudsha, barichu, la'elam min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, Damiran v'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Osei shalom v'imrolam, huya asei shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Zichronam livracha, may the memory of the people that you're thinking of tonight as you recite the Kaddish be a blessing to you always. Let us say, amen. All right, tomorrow I'll be streaming the services from the sanctuary at 9:30 in the morning. Ruth Kleinman will be here to read Torah. Uli Rocher, who's her partner, will be here to assist as well. If you see them at the same bima, not social distancing, they live together, okay, just so you know. So don't worry, nothing is wrong. Havdalah from my home on 9 o'clock on Saturday night. Additional songs afterward will be loosely along the theme of healing. There's a movie night coming up on a Monday. I can't remember the exact date because I'm terrible with dates, but it's a Monday at the end of July. Watch your email for those. That's a Zoom movie. And yeah, I can't even read lips, right? So they're here, but it's the 28th? 28th, July 28th. We also are having a 3-part series beginning on the last Sunday night in July and extending into 2 of the Sundays in August on Black Jewish voices, everything from the Bible to a current panel of Black Jews who belong to Temple of Abraham to Black Jews in Africa, Uganda, not just Uganda, other places as well, Zimbabwe, and we'll learn all about them through Brian Schwartz. So hope you can attend those things. They will be on Zoom, but our services are always streamed live, not on Zoom, on YouTube and Facebook. All right, I think that's it for now. And closing song. Dodie Lee is a song, the words come from the Song of Songs. It's not in the book, unfortunately. Dodie Lee comes from the Song of Songs, Shir HaShirim, a book that is said to be a metaphor for a love story between God and the people of Israel, but it reads just like a love story, kind of like a hot, sexy love story from 1,500 years ago, or rather 2,500 years ago. Some of the metaphors don't work today, some of them do work. Some people say it's King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. Others say it's just two young lovers. We're unsure. Anyway, Stephen Scher wrote a Debbie Friedman-like, James Taylor-like, Simon and Garfunkel-like version of it in the 70s or early 80s, and it's sung at a lot of weddings. And it means, come, my beloved, right? Come to the field and with lilies and roses, and you are my bride. And it's a beautiful, beautiful song, so we're going to sing the Stephen Scher version tonight. In honor of him, he passed away last Saturday, I believe. Dodili vanilo haroe vashoshani dodili izodola min hamidbar izodola min hamidbar dodili vanilo haroe vashoshanim dodili mivafini ahotikala livatini ahotikala dodili vanilo haroe vashoshanim dodili vashoshanim dodili. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for being here. And remember, on your way out, if you are here, you can certainly use the hand sanitizer again. I even think the washing station near the gate is opened up, but please remember not to gather around them to social distance, one household at a time. Thank you so much for coming. I look forward to seeing you over the weeks and months ahead.